Whole Foods reporting second quarter earnings in line with estimates, and it looks like the the fight back against its investor, its activist Jana Partners, is now in action. So what do you make of where it stands on this fight and these earnings, which market's reacting positively to?
Yeah, that's right. The stock is up on the news. You know, they're saying 5 new board members, new chair of the board. So some of the people that have been on the board for a long time leaving. They're also sort of accelerating programs we knew about. They're doing more cost cutting. They're going to change the way they purchase products to centralize those operations. So definitely some positive news there. I'm not convinced necessarily that this means Jana says, okay, guys, you know, we accept this and we go away. I think that potentially there's still more that Jana might want, but it seems like investors are at least happy with what they're hearing from Whole Foods.
We've got a dividend raise. We've got a share buyback.
That's right.
I mean, all surprising things. They are trying at the very least.
That's right. They're working with Evercore to kind of fend off Jana. So, I mean, clearly they, you know, circled the wagons here and are coming out with a lot of news to say, we're on top of this and we can turn this thing around. You know, John Mackey, the CEO, is sort of saying, I'm in control here and I can do this. I think that's the message from Whole Foods this afternoon.
The numbers were also in line. What do you think of the price reaction here? Remember we were saying earlier on in programming, if it's a positive set of results, it could be a bad thing because investors are like, oh, the buyer's not going to come in and save us here.
It certainly wasn't a great, on the numbers end, wasn't a great report. They matched on EPS. You know, the same-store sales down again. They're saying we can get same-store sales back going by the end of the fiscal 2018. So, you know, I think there's still cause for concerns. I don't think they're out of the woods quite yet, but you're right. The stock, you know, stock is up this afternoon.
And we also should mention that Whole Foods also authorized a new $1.25 billion stock buyback program. They've increased their dividend to 18 cents a share from 14 cents. That was an increase that was not necessarily widely anticipated. Are these kinds of moves enough to assuage someone like Jana Partners? You
know, I think time will tell. I'm not necessarily convinced. I think that, you know, Jana still, they said no to the offer of the 2-year standstill. So they said they want to keep their options on the table. So we'll have to see how Jana exactly digests everything that's in this release. You know, it was a lot of stuff in there. They're clearly sort of throwing a lot at the wall and see if it's enough to kind of fend off the act.
But were those specific things what Jana had requested, or Jana was looking for wholesale change?
Jana was looking for wholesale change. Right. They hadn't been incredibly specific, right? Possibly a sale and you know, overhaul the operations. I mean, so Jana had not been incredibly specific about exactly what they wanted. So we'll see if this does it.
Craig, let's talk about the really big picture here. Down 2.8% for same-store sales. That's not objectively good, but it did beat expectations. What is the fundamental challenge that's causing people to shop at Whole Foods less? Is it the competition? Is it organics from everywhere else? What's going on? Because, you know, everyone's into organics these days. You'd think it would be in the sweet spot.
Right. These are the guys that created the market. But 7 straight quarters now of declining same-store sales, the worst slump since they've gone public. So the problem is that you can get organic stuff everywhere. You can get organic stuff at Kroger for cheaper. You can get it at Walmart. Everybody noticed what they did with organic and plowed into that market. And the problem for them is that they're considered overpriced. So ton of competition. Deflation has hit them hard, just like everybody in the grocery industry. So that sales number needs to come up, and that's something that people are going to watch, I think, going forward.